Howdy folks, I have a new product designed to show you guys. What I want to show you is some new products for the 711L inline ratchet. If you don't know, the 711L inline ratchet driver is really one of the absolute best ratchet drivers on the market. It's all metal, it handles as much torque as you can throw at any 1/4 inch piece, and they designed it to fit both Leatherman with flat piece here or the full hex. So the red is the Leatherman version and the blue is the full hex version. And so I wanted to design some accessories to go with this. There's still a holster and a couple other pieces coming along, but this is the first product I've worked on. I've worked on it for a month, and I'll show you some of the details of that as I go along. And what's going to be super cool is to do a handle that basically allows you to convert a small 4.25 inch by 1 inch sized handle into a stubby screwdriver or a full-size screwdriver. And so the components that go with this, and you can order each of these pieces separately or as a full kit. First is an extra grip. So this engages with the knurling that they have. The knurling they have, if you have greasy fingers, you're running automotive shop, something like that, it is not quite good enough. The knurling's in the wrong direction, it's really smooth. So you simply snap this piece on, and you can snap it back off if for some reason you decide you don't like it. And it lets you still see the color in there. And this works to actuate that. The next component is a stubby screwdriver piece. So this has a very strong magnet that sticks on to the end. It's keyed to the entire hex here. And holds 6 bits. So you can hold 6 of these double-ended WeHa bits, which are absolutely awesome. They come in all sorts of sizes. You can also use the short bits, any 1 inch bit. These are the 711L brand 1 inch bits. I like the double-ended bits because, of course, you're going to get 12 bits for what you're, instead of 6. The only issue with these guys is that if you use some of the smaller ones, such as, let's see, let me grab like something with a smaller end like this. There's a little bit less magnetic retention, so the bit can pop out as far as a screw can grab and pull it out. But there's no issue with actually using them to drive anything. The next component of this kit is, of course, a lid. This caps on to the other end here, provides 6 more bits. And as a bonus inside, let me pop out, grab that. It's actually retained, and as a bonus, you're going to get a 1/4 inch socket driver. So if I take that, snap this back in, drop that in the part, that just clips on and then magnetically pulls off. So that's stored inside there, ready to go. And then this has 6 magnets that interface with the magnets on the bottom of this, and that turns this from a stubby screwdriver into a full-size screwdriver. So this has 19 magnets inside here. And this is really very secure. You can see here, and there's a lot of weight on the end of that, and it's still not popping off. You just simply, if I pull from the right end, pull that off, snap that on, and then now this is really perfect for a toolbox carry. What if you want longer reach? This doesn't reach for what you need. I also have a lid for 2 inch bits. So it's a little bit longer. You can see here about 3/4 of an inch to an inch longer, but that lets you hold 6 full-size 2 inch bits that you just slide out, pop in, still magnetically docks. You can still use this as now in a kind of an extra long screwdriver handle, but it's still strong enough to hold and then easily pull apart, snap the pieces back together. Everything slides in and out really nice. It's kind of a very fun, this is one of the most fidgety things I've ever made. You can sit there and snap this back and forth. These guys kind of pop in and out. It's really satisfying to use. It's going to be available both regular gray here. This is what this looks like. And by the way, I've already used this to take apart a greasy antique fan, and you can see that it still looks like new. Or if you want, you can get the dyed black option. This is an extra option. If you order 3 items, that's not 3 of the kit, but 3 items from my website that are all 3D printed, you can get that dyeing option for free. But I wanted to show you both so you can see the difference between the black dye and the regular gray. The regular gray will just turn darker, smoother over time. It kind of patina is almost like leather as far as it's smoothing out. And then if for some reason you want to add on a whole bunch of these, you can actually stack these. So, well, that's the wrong one. Technically, if you wanted to, you could stack, have kits, so you could have your kit. For example, Weehaw sells 3 different versions of their technician's bits, so you could have all 3 if you want. So that's one reason you can order all the pieces separately. So this has been the culmination of an entire month, or even maybe more, of work in order to get this to work really well for you, have really secure, make sure that this doesn't fall apart if you're throwing this into a toolbox, all your bits are retained. You can use it with the Leatherman bits and they end up actually below flush. However, there's not much grip up here. You can't really get your fingers to slide them out. So unless you kind of add a texture to your Leatherman bits, what you can do if you decide you want to use it with Leatherman bits is you can just pull them out with your pliers. Obviously not ideal, but if you're going to run the full 1/4-inch driver with 1/4-inch pieces, you might as well run full size 1/4-inch bits. And kind of wanted to illustrate some of how the reason why the pricing behind this is, like I said, there's 19 magnets in here. There is a whole series of tiny 2mm magnets, tiny 6 by 3mm magnets, another 1/4-inch magnet. If you've got the 2-inch, there's a metal pin that goes with that. And then, of course, including that square drive adapter. All that kind of comes together, so that's one reason for the price of this. Along with the labor and needed to actually install all those magnets. Everything will come pre-installed, other than you're not getting the bits and, of course, the 711L. So what you'll be getting, if I pop all the bits out of here, and you can see kind of how easy it is to deploy the bits. You just simply slide them out. So you'll be getting a lid piece like this, and then you'll be getting a base piece, which happens to have the Leatherman bits in here, like this, with the full kit, along with the grip. So like I said, it's been an entire month, and so to end this video, I'm going to illustrate how many prototypes I've gone through. Thanks for watching.